Barrowman's still here. We love her so much. She's back with some great books for Halloween for all ghouls and boys. Got that right that time.
Carol's an English professor at Alverno College, and she writes a mystery column that runs every third Sunday for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. So lots of you know her, love her, all that stuff. And she's a grandma.
I am a grandma.
Congratulations.
I know, it's so exciting. My daughter Claire and her husband Casey had a little boy. I love this picture. He's drooling milk, so I call it the got milk picture. This is Finnegan Matheson Murray.
Oh,
he's
Finnegan.
I know, we've all been singing that little song.
You just love him?
I just adore him. I spent 2 weeks with her after she had a C-section, so she needed a little extra help, and so I just did everything that the good mother-in-law should do. I am expecting a lot of extra gifts at Christmas.
There you go.
Well, and I wonder, do you, with that infant, that newborn stage, especially with my first, you're kind of freaked out, you're not sleeping, or whatever, are you almost able to enjoy it more as a grandparent?
Absolutely, because, I could just cuddle all the time. I helped her take care of him. I picked him up all the time, and then at about 9:30, I'd go down to their little spare bedroom, and they're downstairs, and I'd leave the two of them to it for the rest of the night.
Right.
It's awesome. Oh,
yeah,
I can't wait
great.
to spoil him rotten.
Oh,
absolutely.
that's awesome.
I know.
Good for you. Congratulations.
We're going to spoil a bunch of kids with some great spooky reads, right? We're going to start with some for the younger ghouls and boys. And that one's starting with Abigail and her zombie.
This is such a fun book. I tried to pick kids' books that older siblings, because I'm all about families reading together with each other. This is actually part of a series, and I think this is the first book. But Abigail is a strange little 5-year-old, so I think lots of kids could relate to her. And she has a zombie for a friend, and he's very nice. But in the pictures, the illustrations are lovely. But in the pictures, every now and then, he keeps losing his arm. Because he's a zombie, and parts fall off. It's wonderful. It's a lovely book. And I think if you've got an older kid who wants something a little scarier and wants to try to scare a younger sibling, it's a perfect book.
What age range are you saying when you say older?
I would say 3 and up.
Okay.
I mean, obviously a 3-year-old wouldn't be able to read it, but they'd love it. The illustrations are awesome.
I love the title of this next one for kids 5 and up. It's The Grim Conclusion, and this is by Adam, do you say it Gridwitz?
Gridwitz, I think, yes.
Okay.
And I actually recommended this book last year, the first one in the series last year, and a lot of people wrote to me and said they had just a lot of fun reading it as a family. It's a lot of the retelling of the original Grimm's fairy tales, which are actually really scary. Like Cinderella, the ugly, she plucks out the eyes of the ugly sisters, or it's the other way around, I can't remember, but they're really dark. And he keeps the dark edginess to it, but he's writing this for children, so it's not inappropriate at all. I'd say 5, 6 and up for this book, and kids, I think, are going to feel like they're reading a scary book. You know, that sort of age, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, where they want to feel a little more grown up with books. Perfect book. Perfect book.
The next one's for 8 and up. It's Constable and Tube.
This is, I think if you're a Harry Potter fan, an adult or a child, you'll love this. It's got the reality that's now, except it's Victorian England, but it's our real world, Victorian England. And then there's a world of the magic, and it's a world of ghosts. And there's an organization that keeps track of ghosts in this alternate reality, and ghosts are going missing. And so Samuel Toop, who's the character, a little boy who's like 8 or 9, he crosses over between the two worlds. It's fabulous. I read it in one sitting. I highly recommend it. I think older kids.
Sounds like it could be like a cartoon or a movie. I mean, it really sounds imaginative.
I would not be surprised if somebody's bought film rights to it. I think if you love Harry Potter, it's an awesome choice for you.
Interesting. Your next book is written by Stephen King's son.
Yes. This is Joe Hill, and I actually have had a couple of viewers say to me, could you tell us when books would also be good for our husbands? And so I have actually picked 2 really scary books that I think women viewers will love. But if you've got a man in your life who likes to read scary, this one is great. The main character in Horns wakes up with horns in his head, and they allow him to hear people's evil, bad thoughts. And then he can also control people's actions a little bit. It's pretty violent, but if you really, in the context of this world. And speaking of Harry Potter, the Michael Radcliffe, what's his name? Daniel Radcliffe is going to play the main character in the film of Horns. He wants to break out of his nice boy image, so he's going to play this sort of really disturbed
So this
character.
is adult.
He's going to
It's
go
definitely
all,
adult. Horns is definitely
He's
adult.
going to go all Miley Cyrus on us.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Breaking
This is
the mold.
a dark character.
Okay.
And then the last one, Richard Matheson has written a lot of scary books. This is Hell House, and I picked this because I'm always into picking a classic every now and then. This is really a classic horror book, and Stephen King thinks it is the best haunted house mystery that you can read.
Wow.
So I can say nothing more about that. That's a really good praise.
High praise. For
It sure is. Do you like reading scary books?
I love reading
You do?
scary books. Yeah, I know you guys, those are not your favorites.
We
But
like when you read them for us.
Or
yes, thank
scary
you.
movies.
Yeah.
No. So we're going to put up information on how to get a hold of you, Karen. What is the best way, in your opinion, for people to reach you? Is it through Facebook, or do you like when people email you?
If they go onto my website, they can get an email link directly to me. I read all those emails. I try to answer them as quickly as I can, but they can follow me on Goodreads, which is fun. I post all my reviews on there, and they can stop me in the Sendex or the street or whatever. I'm always willing to chat about books.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks,
Great to
Carol.
have you as always, and thanks